Hello and welcome to the first ever VTuber Central Station chess tournament. We currently have an exciting match between Zephyr Blade and Alistair Novum. I don't actually know who is who, but I'm here on the commentary desk as I try and make sense of what's going on. Now, if we look over here, we can see that this is a knight, and White has perhaps made poor development choices. They're not attempting to capture the center. That's usually what you want to do. So Black, solid opening, I would say. Capture the center. Could probably be more aggressive in capturing the center. Like maybe a nice d5 followed by e5 later works, but they do just have sort of run. That rook is a very, very fortunate occurrence, because this bishop over here has had no opportunity to even like approach. There's my cursor. I found it. Like, it would have loved to go there, but this pawn is in the way. Absolutely tragic. Oh, we've got a pawn move. Very exciting stuff. As you can see, that bishop is now open. That rook needs to move here in order to survive, or possibly pawn up. That would probably be a bit better developmentally. Theoretically, I'm not exactly sure. The situation is bad all around. And it looks like White realizes this, seeing that the rook is in danger, taking a lot of time. This is a 5-minute game with 2-second increment, as I have been told. Not exactly sure what that means. I do see a 5-minute timer for each player on the side. The bishop has taken the rook. How do I clear the screen of... There we go. Pawn retake, but that is a good trade for Black, and then Black castles safety. So as we enter into the end stages of the opening, we can see that Black has basically developed everything and already taken a rook out of play. Very exciting stuff. Looks like White is paused, looking for a good move. Knight has moved back. That is an unfortunate case of undevelopment. I would have liked to have seen it gone to maybe f4, maybe g5, but either one is not very advantageous. But moving it back to g2 is probably a bid to get the rook out, even though that bishop is already primed to obliterate it. I've made a cool meta arrow. Always exciting. These knights here, this knight in the middle is exactly what you want to have. It's a knight in the middle. Could go for the trade. Black is up material, but I don't know if that trade actually makes the situation any better for Black. You might just want to keep it stable, but if they don't take the trade, that knight is kind of exposed and hanging, or at least it will be hanging if Black does nothing. If Black passed the turn, that knight would be hanging. But it is Black's turn, so we don't need to worry about that just yet. But it seems that Black is considering the option. Queen down. Knight is no longer hanging, and if taken, will allow the queen to go into an attack formation, going downwards and then getting destroyed by the bishop and the queen in a glorious, uneventful, just sort of blunder of absolutely no value. Bishop b2. Ideally looking to get this big diagonal. Unfortunately, there is a pawn in the way, but moving that up would be a good attack, a bit of development. It is through sheer power of White not having developed yet that I am stuck with the assertion that we are basically still in the opening. Black is in the mid game, but White is nowhere near. Pawn moves forward, just reinforces the center line. Not exactly sure what Black's attack vector is going to be. Seems to be mostly a holding pattern. Bishop, or queen can move out here to somewhere. The only safe spot is actually c5. I would also like to point out that White is now at halftime remaining, 2 minutes 30 seconds. And 3 minutes 19 seconds for Black. Looks like white is going to play e5. A good opening move played on turn 12. Maybe not the best option, admittedly. But it does do something. It does attack this bishop safely. The bishop will be forced to move. We can expect it to either go to g4 or g6, g4 being a more aggressive option, trying to pin the knight in front of the queen. Not that it really needs any more influencing, but, you know, stable position. This pawn's already up, so a potential move of h3 to punt it out of there is not going to happen. If I were white and suddenly dropped this position, I would be mildly disparaging, but I would also think that the right side of the board is still relatively stable. If we can move out this knight and this bishop, we do have potential for like development. Looks like queen b3, attempting to free the queen, potentially going to b7 later. Understandable move. Reasonable decision if you want to do something with the queen. Also removes the pin. But fundamentally, I think if black can keep good board control, then making trades is advantageous for black. Ooh, that's an interesting move. h5. With h5, this bishop is protected from any hypothetical ne'er-do-wells. This might also be defending against this white h-pawn moving forward to give the rook more room to maneuver. This kind of locks the rook in with no chance of escape. A good long play move. Nice strategic option. White, this is not really so much a statement of what I think is a good move, but what I expect psychologically from white is to go queen takes b7. It's an attack, it's enticing, it's a free pawn. The material difference is not very extreme. Yes, okay, that is what I actually wanted out of white as like a good move. d4. Attacks this knight, forces response, but also opens up this bishop into a line that is not really that good, but more importantly allows the bishop to go out at all. Once this knight leaves or dies, it can move this pawn up here. Then you have the bishop out here with this whole line. You can move the knight out here and then finally castle. That can get white out of a lot of problems, but unfortunately that check actually seems to be disadvantageous. Black may have made a mistake here, because a quick bishop takes d3 would solve that, but no, white doesn't see it. Knight takes a pawn, and I think the panic will start to set in. The knight is threatening to take the rook, as I've unfortunately labeled it incorrectly. There we go. So in defense of the rook, in defending the rook, the only thing they could do is rook h2, but that doesn't really do anything. And now they're going to go for it. Oh, tragic, tragic occurrence. The material advantage is +8 in favor of black. Knight trying to move. This is legally development. I don't know, but that knight's on a rampage. Forked the king and the bishop. King's going to have to move. And white has lost on time. Fantastic play from these two opponents. Mutual opponents. They're opponents of each other, but I might fight them as well. I'm in this tournament as well. It's just that the first match was not involving me, so to speak. Okay, so this is match 2 between the same people. I've kind of cut in late because they didn't give me the fact that a rematch was occurring. I think they've swapped. I think white and black have swapped. And I say this because I immediately look at black and see pawns forward on the A and H file, which is unfortunate for them. So, looks like most recent move is knight. Okay, well, now the most recent move is this d5. It looks like white has one pawn advantage, probably from maneuvers off to the side. Credit where it's due. Black has more board control in the center, which is always good. But it's all very sort of slipshod and awkward. Like, look at this, like, zigzag formation. This can be oh yeah, very good. This converts into a good, solid 2-point defense. Most people would usually go for a pyramid. They've gone for an inverted pyramid here. And it looks like white is content to simply keep the line going. That pawn move up, very passive, but I assume it's to do a c4 in order to break this opening and proceed. Let's see, black has this diagonal open, very good potentially. A nice queen move back here would get obliterated by the knight defending these two spots and the bishop here. Goes for bishop d6, which is good, I think. Definitely gives a lot of space open. There is a bishop, but now that bishop threat has been removed. Black could go for the trade. It's bad on material, but I think maybe black, not so good at the opening, may do better at the end game. May want to accelerate that, and the pawn, the one pawn down nature of them right now might be fine for them. Queen to f6. Two attackers on the knight, two defenders on the knight. Unfortunately, oh wait, no, 3 attackers. This is actually a winning attack for black. So, okay. White sees it and decides to just completely cut the Gordian knot. Knight takes knight over here, and unfortunately, no way to take it back. Undefended, but not exposed. Really unfortunate that. Okay, an attempt to counterattack. Actually a good... This could be a fork or a skewer, depending on how you see it. Both of these knights are undefended. One of them has to move. And so I think, yes, takes that, checks the king, pawn takes back, but this bishop threat is still here. This knight needs to move, potentially. And there's no real good counterattacks. Knight moves back here. That's a quick pawn takes. That is losing material. I would say that that might even be an inaccuracy. Does black see it? Yes. Good response. Threatens the queen. Shunts this pawn right in the middle, though it is only defended by that bishop. Bishop has an important role. Queen's going to have to either move back out here or try and be offensive. Moves laterally, threatening the G file, though it is well defended. In that case, what I think you might want to do is maybe bishop to b5. Entice this trade, but know that like this bishop can't actually move. The bishop here is safe. It would require a pawn up, which you could then maybe attack, which would open the queen file and then ruin your everything. Actually, never mind. I'm no grandmaster. I'm okay at chess, I would say. I'm better than the average person because the average person doesn't really play chess. But I don't think I'm as good as the average chess fan. Because, like, the people who play chess, I would say, are people who already like chess. They found it! They found the safety of that move, theoretically. Oh, actually, no. Never mind. It's a check. Okay. Shows what I know, and it's a good thing I'm not playing yet. Now, ostensibly, there is no move that... Yeah, you just have to move out of the way. But now we can see a queen move to here for that double up doom. That would force the king to here. Actually, can't even go there. It would force the king to here, my bad. Doesn't choose to pursue it. Instead, castles. Reasonable. Oh, no, never mind. It could also have gone here. Actually, if it went there, I think that might have even been better. Okay, the queen has advanced into the now exposed G, given that the bishop is way over there. It can now sort of have its way with the pawns in the vicinity, especially this one, at the very least. And while this queen is sort of an AoE danger, it's not really powerful. It doesn't have any support right now. And unfortunately, the development situation for black is abysmal. This knight can only move to a spot where it would be captured immediately. This rook is stuck behind the knight that can't move. Okay, now the queen could theoretically go for nothing. That'll be taken by the... Wait, no, actually, the queen can still take that pawn, if so desires. But that's just like chump change. The difference is material is still 3. White is a minor piece up. We got someone in the Discord chat saying oof in all caps. Moving on, I think the actual play, if you want to get this rook to do anything or just like develop, possibilities I see is rook can provide pressure, but doesn't really have a good attack option. This knight needs to leave. My recommendation would actually be push this pawn up, then go knight here to eventually go out here or something. Queen's under attack. Could go for that pawn. That pawn is safe. Though again, this is just sort of chump exchanges. But is a chump exchange with potential. Going down here, check the king that could remove, but that rook is like mutually defended by all sides. Is what black did. The material advantage is actually only 2 pawn difference. White has taken both bishops of black, but black has taken a knight off of... Right? Yeah, black has a knight where white does not. And then also a pawn. So, white's position is deteriorating, but not really in a way that matters. Queen trade is possible. I don't think it loses black a lot of leverage, but goes for it. Okay, the queen trade has been had. I think now that the most likely outcome of this match is a loss on time. But pawn out, knight here. The bishop could take, but the rook will take back and then have like an entire file to work with. With the queen removed, this pawn is now in danger. Never mind. Okay. Take with the pawn. This file gets opened. That will cause an very unfortunate check in the home line. Pawn home row, not other piece home row. 3 seconds left for white. Oh, a move has been played. Actually, a very good move. Moves that bishop out of there. Pawn forward, maybe? No, time is up. Tragic.
Hey, GG, man.
I will respectively take this L.
Okay, so next up, it will be BT1063, who is actually logged in, and I can identify that they are black, versus Bib Zero Bobs, or just Zero for short, who is white. Okay, strong opening. E5, D5 controls the center. Very likely you want to destroy the... Yep, remove that. Okay, center control is had. White's up a pawn immediately. Check by the queen. Most likely that'll be a pawn out. You really don't want to move the king. Then you're going to lose castle. Oh, you move the king. But that does still open up that pawn take. If white wants to go for it. It's a little risky. So what are the options here? The option is move king there. Then what? Bishop here? That just wins the game. Oh, no, it doesn't. King can move here. Actually, we can narrate what's going to go on. Pawn forward, bishop take, queen take, pawn take. So that's not an escape vector. Out here, you're just being checked up the board. Absolutely devastating opening from white. Yep, there's that. A bishop takes will solve this problem I don't know if white is maybe a bit cautious in this scenario. I think that that pawn take is absolutely fine. Takes it, counter take with the queen, take with the pawn, or even just take with the queen again. And all of a sudden, you're up a queen. No! Rejects it, instead moves out. Smart, good choice by black. That said, still an absolutely disastrous position. Knight f3. Getting more material to do the attack. In fact, in this position, queen goes here, queen takes, that takes. Not ideal. You could go for a defended bishop attack, move the queen out of the way, but no, counter or preempts that with a bishop move of their own. Pawn forward. Now this is how you move an h-file pawn. Actually, that would be checkmate, I think. Moving to h5 is checkmate. I don't know if black realizes it, but they need to take. They need to take. They need to do something. Oh, excellent. h5 stops the pawn move. Phenomenal. An excellent defense for that situation. All right, now let's evaluate the board a little bit. Given that black is losing, I'm inclined to try and find ways to stop black from losing. Just as like a good Samaritan. Knight move there, blocks off this space, blocks off that space. These spaces are blocked off. We may be looking for some kind of bishop takes, pawn takes. Queen takes would go into a trade. White is up 2 material. And there is a knight bishop discrepancy. h4. Okay, that gives the rook some maneuvering space. Interesting play. But I think... Okay, ironically, the undeveloped bishops and queens and stuff are actually providing a good wall of defense for any ne'er-do-wells that would want to attack. Like, this queen can't maneuver into any sort of checkmate position because all the areas around is defended. Possibilities. Let's talk possibilities. Knight is being developed. White is dictated. Pawn forward, threatening the bishop. I don't know if that's a permanent solution to anything. White could just go for a bishop trade and even get a nice materialization out of it. Could go for the knight, but I think that actually is good for black, that trade, just because the rook can move out. So don't do that. I think moving back a step is fine. Moving back 2 steps is preempting this play over here, which might actually be good tempo for white. Black's got a few options. Move knight to here will stop this bishop protection. May not want to do that. Moving knight here is bad development, but it's development. Bishop out to here gives an open file, but not much help. Rook forward. Planning to take this pawn, threaten the queen. Knight moves in, defends that pawn, and attacks that pawn as well. Queen check. Interesting. That's just going to be a counter take right here, and then nothing happens from it. Yep. A tragic loss of the black queen. Now, if this were like some crazy grandmaster moment, we could potentially theorize that some wacky trap would keep the queen contained, and that seems like maybe that's what they're going for. Because this is death. This is death. This is death. But the queen can just go all the way forward and is now in the back lines. What possibilities can we infer? Queen sort of has easy pickings on this home row. A good move out of the knight to protect the bishop via the rook, but this knight is still in danger. A move out of this bishop to an otherwise risky space would provide a threat to things and allow the capture. Oh, but no! The knight checkmate! Look at that! Safe there, hit there, 1, 2. Queen's protecting this line, queen's protecting that. And this bishop's protecting the pawn. That is an ensnare if I've ever seen one. Phenomenal. Okay, round 2. In the middle. Both good center position. They've both taken the center. Trades will occur. There's a choice. Do you take that or take forward? You take that because the knight would do here. A pawn take here for a counter pawn take would lose material to the knight, but the bishop check, I don't really agree with that. It's a well-defended king. It just lets development happen. That was a bad check. Takes the trade, though. Interesting. Material is even, and another attacker on that pawn. That was a bad trade. I do not believe white has been put to a worse position from that trade. Okay, the pawn take has happened. Do you take with the knight? You take with the knight. Okay. And then the knight takes back that trade with the pawn. Okay. Pawn structures, not anymore. Weirdly enough, they both went even out of that mid-game. White has the advantage, and I think that comes down to just the positional advantage. I don't have any like speculative bot telling the relative powers of things. Okay, so king check. Yeah, that's a g3. Black is trading well, but has lost great positional advantage due to just wanton, unsolicited aggression. These checks are meaningless. Like bishop e2, and that's done for. Well, okay, actually, no, queen has done something interesting. It's a rook fork. Queen there. Blocks it. Enticing the trade, no, goes for the rook. How do you respond? By playing the game. Unfortunately, the queen can escape, take that pawn, and suddenly black, with complete wanton aggression, has taken a material advantage by letting the queen escape. I actually don't agree with that pawn up move. It stops the queen from getting so far out, but that pawn is hanging. What do you do in this situation? I think you, like, assuming the queen does not move again, you bishop out to somewhere, castle, and then move this bishop here. Queen will take that, then you move this bishop somewhere deadly over there, and then they go for the trade. But even that's not good enough. White needs to be thinking, oh frick, and other things that are more productive than just oh frick. But yeah, I would say queen takes, d5 is just solid. Bishop moving in to protect this pawn line. White is playing positional despite being under attack. Oh, you know what I would... Okay, so assuming the queen doesn't move, castle is phenomenal because the rook will then protect that pawn. And the queen will indeed run out of places to go. No, too late. Alternate possibility, rook move without castle. Puts the king in a precarious situation in the middle of the board, but does provide pressure. But it's also just kind of empty pressure. Bishop here is an attack on the queen, but that might just give the queen more time to move places. It's hard to keep down a queen in an open board like this. Knight's been snuffed out of here, but can easily go here. Okay, they've gone for the rook out. Aggression. Where can the queen go? No, let's see. No. Yes. Yes. Okay, a queen goes for the pawn. Should have expected that. Black's MO is unrelenting aggression. The pawn knight fork. You may think, oh, this isn't a big deal. Wrong. That pawn out of the way opens up this diagonal. And this queen is prepared to strike at it. Even going for the queen trade, this bishop can then provide that pressure. Might be able to trade up in that regard. Knight moves out of the way. Is he going to pawn forward? That would provide pressure on that rook, but an attack would open up this file for the queen. No, goes forward. Pressure on that rook. Rook moves. That pawn is now stuck. White's victory here will come from good positional play. Logically, because they clearly aren't winning on material. Rook forward. Okay, this is genius. If the black rook takes, pawn takes, queen, instant checkmate. This is a test. What is the answer here? The answer here is to actually ignore that threat entirely. Keep going. Very good. Because in a rook takes scenario, then this other rook takes, or even just the knight takes, and the defense is secure. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Oh, no, it would be because the bishop was there before, but it's not there anymore. So the threat has been dismantled because this rook can now defend the other rook. But this is a threat. How will I respond? There is something to be said for maybe triggering this check to shuffle the materials around here to move this queen to somewhere more advantageous. White does not have a lot of spare moves to make, because eventually it will be, if this queen moves, and it should move, the threat of like a queen up here, check, then supported with this bishop as it moves to like somewhere close by is dangerous. In fact, even a queen move to a1 or something. Ah, okay. They're trying to double up. They're trying to be like, they're going to take that. This rook will take back there. This queen moves up. This rook has to take back over here. Pawn in. Checkmate. But has to worry, because if you go there and then this queen takes and you go queen up, the actual defense is to go knight here. Well, no, actually, you've run out of defensive option. No, yes. It's like pawn takes, knight here. It's not actually checkmate, then move forward. Queen check, empty threat. Bishop up here is checkmate. Well, no, it's not checkmate. It is a lethal check. Because bishop take, queen take, bishop take. It just trades all down to nothing. White does not want that. White wants a bishop e2, protected by the queen temporarily, just stalls for time. King can only move here or here, neither of them good positions. It needs to be a block. King moves, dicey, but actually not that bad. Queen moves, if queen moves here, bishop takes, queen takes, you're back up in material. Moves back, takes the pawn. Rook takes, check. Rook takes back. And White's big offensive play has been disarmed, unfortunately. Again, I'm rooting for White because they went down in material and I feel like I want to help them win. This is a pin of all pins. Absolutely tragic. White is short on time, only 30 seconds left. I don't actually remember who won the last game. So I don't know if this would be going to a best of 3. Well, it is already a best of 3. I just don't know who won game 1. Yep. As the arrow portrays. Okay. 30 seconds on white. White needs to move fast. We need to... Not really sure what they could hope for right now. 2 bishops isn't really good enough to... Yeah, okay, so material trade. King's goes there. Queen takes the bishop. No! Bishop block! Still, queen takes the other bishop. Knight okay. They're going for it. King back. Queen forward. King up here. Yeah, there's only one move to make, buddy. Oh, no, that is... Oh, checkmate because of the bishop. Fantastic. Game's over.
There we go.
GG's.
GG's.
Jeez.
I messed up at the end.
Okay, welcome to the next match. It is now between people whose names we already have known for actual reality. Both people are named. BT, once again returning, versus Sam for short VT. Or just Sam for short. Look at this! A sane and reasonable opening. E4, E5, Knight F3, Knight C6, C3. Wild. Absolutely wild. Bishop moved in. Okay. Fast-paced game already. White taking solid board position in the center. Look, this is lethal. Oh my goodness, BT on a roll. Okay. What is black to do? Well, I would say moving the knight to here, unfortunately, might just be the best thing to do. Kind of necessary. Yep, there it is. Meanwhile, we got other development options. I think pushing this pawn forward will stop some of the aggression. Let's see, put your bishop out. Unfortunate knight takes pawn situation, so pawn up for offense. Actually, no, wait, hold. No. I mean, you can king takes that. Yeah, pawn forward. You get this bishop line open. The knight isn't realistically going to go there, because then the king just takes. All right, knight moved back, threatening this bishop. Bishop has good defensive options, simply moving there, or even... No, none of those. Simply bishop moves there. A good defense. Alternatively, you could just let it sit there. Removing that knight from the board might just be good, yeah. Completely ignores it, gets threatening a nice knight e5. Pawn moves forward to try and stop that, could counter pawn, potentially. Alternative move is here, which just gives the knight excellent board center control. Nope, takes with the pawn. Understandable. Threatens this pawn moving forward, but could just help promote the structure in the middle. So might not actually want to do that. Seems like we are having a good fight. Knight takes pawn. A fully reasonable move. What options do we have? This knight is still threatening this. Now that's a bit emptier, we may want to reserve it for take maneuvers. But I'd think, okay, bishop out, threaten the queen, defended by the knight. Good. Good protected attack. The queen will be forced to move unless, of course, f3 is played. No, knight takes back. I didn't even see that because I'm not paying attention to the game. I'm just commentating on the game. That's a completely different activity. Knight counter takes would simply just be more trading into bad material. But actually, it might lessen the damage, because we imagine a knight takes, queen takes, then this queen takes here, or even knight takes here. But personally, I'd go for queen takes. Goes for the castle. Pain. How do you defend against this? G6. I know you don't want to because you lose the rook, so... instead... Knight here? I don't know. No, knight here! Smart! Using the pawns to protect the knight in its defensive role. It's basically acting as a pawn move, except doesn't open up this depth. Very good defense on black. Big condolences. Okay. Now, if I were black, I would do a developing check. Rook here. Kind of helps stifle the damage of moving this pawn forward. No, pawn takes bishop. That is technically trade. This pawn moves up. Really, though, developing check. It would help relieve the pressure because the king would have to move here. Wait! No, he can't. Bishop. So king moves here. This is checked. King would have to move either here, here, block with this bishop, block with the queen here, block with the queen here. Diagonal check. That's just going to open up a pawn move or a queen take. What I want to see is like queen takes, rook in, king forced to move knight take, just to get like... Well, no, that would allow escape. Knight takes is definitely the play. Now a development can happen. Rook here, only defense is that bishop. So, knight here? No. Knight here? No. Okay, they did do the rook move. King moves, can no longer castle. A solid bishop play may be the order here. This rook is threatening to take. This bishop moves in to defend. This knight has time to move out. Like go here, then maybe here. No, takes the pawn because the bishop's not defending it anymore. Good play. Allows him to move here to fork both the bishop and the king. Watch out for that one. Defense for that may be a preemptive b3. No, preemptively move the king. Doesn't matter. Moved it diagonally. That's still a fork. Turns it into a trade. He takes it, though. Ooh. A check to tempoize. This is not actually a threat. Bishop takes. King takes. Okay. That rook move was an absolute blunder. That could have been even material. White has squandered this. Pawn in. Knight out. And then, like, a rook here, a rook here. Bad times. Yeah, so king can move, like, yep. Moves down. Rook could go here. That'll entice a block here or an escape vector there. But black is just holding stable. Gaining material, not going too aggressive. Protects the bishop from a potential rook move. That's good. Rook here. Perspective option, but moves pawn in for a better aggression. King moves in. Rook tries to take. Knight's taking. This is well defended. Rook defending the pawn. I'm not sure I like that. Rook throwing the bishop. Bishop escapes. It's very dynamic. Okay, rook takes. Was that like a pawn take or that was just a move? Bishop move. Yeah, rook is doing nothing over here. Defending that pawn, who cares? That pawn's not under attack. Okay, it's under attack by the bishop, but ultimately the bishop's job is to destroy the knight, allowing the rook to take that pawn. That'll allow the king to move away from that spot to... Well, actually, can't even go that way. That'll allow the rook to relinquish its job or even to aggress the pawn forward. Black is trying to go for a slow dismantling of the defense. If I were white trying to defend that knight, I would probably go rook here. But no, decides to move the knight out of harm's way. This, however, opens that pawn for capture. Takes it. King moves there. Rook is in danger. The bishop will fall. It's either save the bishop with like a rook move there or a rook move there. No, wait, rook here saves everything. No, knight takes it, but then pawn takes. That's an okay trade. You're up 7 material. That's a fine exchange for you. You have performed an inaccuracy, but it's fine, and you see it. Knight takes, pawn takes. Well, you lose the bishop. Okay. Rook endgame. Rook pawn endgame. I will warn that black has only 30 seconds left on the timer. White has a minute 30. Okay, intention is to move forward. A check, empty threat. Just move out of the way. I think that was more of a stalling check. A potential option for black going forward is to move this pawn downwards. Never mind. Rook forward, threatening that pawn. Does white rook want to defend? Okay. Rook moves in. Pawn take. Rook is middle of no man's land. Makes a useless take on that. Rook down here. Good check. Moves up. Rook here. Good defense. Black's playing good despite having no time. This rook has the opportunity to move out. Goes for the check. Moves there. Escape the rook. Meanwhile, while that's happening, black can contemplate their next move. I think it's probably going to be a check off. No, pawn forward. Rook here for an empty check, I assume. Of course, it's the king forward. Doesn't really matter. Rook cannot take that pawn. It will simply be obliterated. King moves into the defense. And now, moving that pawn out loses both pawns. It's tragic. King moves out. Other pawn forward. Rook check. King evasion. Rook other check. Yep, king evasion. Moving pawn out. Rook moves here. Just move. Move behind the rook. Good. Pawn forward. Pawn down. Pawn takes. Your pawn takes. King takes. Pawn move down. King move down. Rook offensive. Move king in. Rook moves back to check. Move king back to H-file. No, hides behind the pawn. This is technically a pin. Rook down. Yes. Rook over. Oh, king over. Pawn down. Okay, you need to get that rook out of there. Sack the rook. Okay, check also works. Good rook defense. Queen. Take. Okay, now it's a question of does black know the box technique? Move up. Up, rook up. Good. No. King down. Good. Rook up. Good. King up. Good. King down. Actually, that works too. Rook up. Not yet. King down. They're actually gaining time with how fast they're moving. Yep. Yeah, rook forward. Excellent. King down. Rook up. Prepare the death. King lateral. Rook far away. Good. Empty rook move. Excellent. Rook up. That is checkmate. Fantastic. All right, here we go. E4. Classic. Sam is on white now. Knight c6. Okay. Loss of the center. Okay. Pawn forward. Pawn up. Knight forward. Excellent. Black has taken the center with the knight. Never mind. You know, it would be funny if you did like a... don't do it, but like... Ooh, pawn to... Why... Okay, you know what? That does still keep you center control. That, for losing 2 material down, an acceptable move. Oh, look, we've got the legendary zigzag maneuver. Okay, so what's bad about this is that the bishop is stuck behind a very immovable pawn. Ways around this. Feign Keto. Flap out there. For the most part, though, I think, yeah, good knight move. Apply pressure to that pawn. That's the weak point. And that's why they moved that bishop to begin with. Castle is in. Bishop out here, I think, just provide pin maneuver. If they pawn out, they bishop here. If they pawn out, they bishop here. And then that bishop is now part of this attack. Bishop has left the attack. Now's your chance. Does BT know? Does BT know? This pawn is now hanging and this knight can retake the center. No, goes for h3. Oh, that's tragic. You could have taken that pawn. I guess they're defending a bishop g5. Sorry, when the board's upside down, I get my numbers confused. And you immediately block it, but provides another defender. Your window of opportunity has closed, good buddy. Queen here. By pressure, no. Okay, this is trying to completely eradicate this line for bishop motion. Defense, everything, good offense. This bishop is now very powerful and should be kept alive. Move to d7. Is it okay if I do okay, you are trading out the knight. Bishop take, pawn forward, this pawn takes. And then what? Pawn forward? Now you've given the enemy bishop this powerful line into your base. That I don't really agree with this. Yeah, pawn forward, then what? Bishop takes, rook take, or knight take. I mean, I guess they won't want to do a bishop-rook trade, no matter how up they are. Queen, check. My recommendation, knight here, maybe. No. Queen defense, actually necessary. Bishop takes, knight takes. Does not knight take. Rook's up. If you were gonna king up, why didn't you do that earlier? Or was it a misclick? If so, tragic. Okay, Bishop, it moves to safety in the strong diagonal. This bishop completely snuffed out. BT is having a terrible time today in this match, particularly. A6. Okay, oh, the fork. A nice bit of unexpected power. Now, if I were Sam, I would obviously move the queen to safety and maybe try and like salvage this somehow. There's no move that can provide sort of like an emergency check. You could maybe threaten checkmate, but no, queen down is fair enough. If that pawn takes, then this queen can just have like open access to ruining your day. In fact, that very threat is perhaps what's stopping a knight take right now. But even without that, a queen here, look at that. Pain, pain, pain. You have to either block with the knight, move down. Yep. Moving down would simply incur further pain, like a bishop there, knight there, queen trades, king takes. I mean, that just hurts you. But actually, king down, knight here, I think is checkmate. No, because bishop takes. But then with a queen counter take, looks like they're trying to fish for an actual checkmate here. I personally think that is just a little bit of aggression. You don't need to checkmate as fast as possible. Yeah, just go for it. Okay, so white has some options. White could try and figure out an exact maneuver that allows the checkmate to occur, or they could try and resolve the center control by taking out these pawns piecemeal. Could move this bishop out to here, threaten this knight, force it to move, but it really can't because it's defending checkmate. Rook defending the knight. Excellent. Bishop takes. Okay, ouch. This is an 18 material advantage. Rook threatens the queen. This is a non-issue. Queen just goes there. Forces the king to move out here. Wait, no. Actually, I think that's checkmate. No, pawn. I'm a fool. Oh, that checkmate, huh? All right, cool.
Yo,
I love the center.
good
I love the center. I love the center game.
good round.
We are in for the next round. Sam versus Zero. Let's see how this goes. Okay, E4, E5, the center game. Takes. Understandable. Queen takes. That's an aggressive opening queen. Queen aggression, knight counter. Queen needs to move somewhere. Queen is very mobile, but too valuable to lose in a lot of circumstances. I would personally just cut your losses and run. You've gotten a pawn and a bit of center control. Bishop here threatens this, could put out a trade or just a pawn up and shunt it back. More important opportunities, maybe other knight out, maybe this pawn out to try and get center control. Because like I think we know what Sam's going to try and do. Sam's going to try and push forward with this pawn. Let's do some evaluation. Okay, pawn forward for that bishop threat. Or could be for pawn forward here, bishop threat check, just to make it a bit more intimidating. These are all probably not true. The true reason is probably just getting this bishop out. Bishop counter out, ready to defend. This bishop, okay, so defending the queen aggression, which is to say threatening the queen. If we want to use like the terminology that makes it so that people can understand what I'm saying. white is being aggressive. But that aggression, singularly with the queen, has lost a lot of development. Queen out. Okay, double queens in the center. Here's the center. The square. This is not the real center. The real center is these 4 squares here. And then this sort of like minor 4 square assembly here. Knights out. Now white has center control with this pawn, but is slower on development. Can black capitalize? Personally, I think knight here or the knight trade can move the queen to a better position. Queen has moved. Now I think. Oh, you know what? Bishop b4 is the brave move. Bishop b4 is the move where it's like, hey, I'm going to pin you. And this is like an absolute pin. That bishop cannot move. Yes. Oh my goodness. Sam's like, no, my queen take. Tragic. Absolutely tragic. Knight defense. Pin has been disjointed. Now you trade. Yes. And what are you going to take with that pawn? What is the structure? King's not going to want to castle that way. He's going to want to castle this way. Bishop can move out. This knight sort of being locked in, but queen could clear the way. More defensive move would just be a lovely castle. Queen side. Queen goes for it. Expecting aggression. Queen in your front door. But, yeah, I do think this would be risky, but also it would result in losing. Rook has moved in. This is now an illegal castle zone, and this rook is now trying to open up onto this file. I would say you could try and take pawns, but I don't think that helps you. I'd say castle. Castle or defend against this queen take right here. Very good. I'm acting like I'm some smart person. I'm not. Don't worry about it. Knight here. That just opens up a trade here, but doesn't get a knight off the board. Black is up 1 pawn in material. So it's still anyone's game. White maybe move the bishop out. Yeah, that is technically development. Gets you a castle. Sam likes to be on the offense, so being on the defense like this is probably uncomfortable. And I'm saying this out of a psychological profile that I have no verification is true. The castle has connected. Last move was g6. A solid pawn move, I guess. But I guess this is sort of, pawn here. Make a low-cost aggression. Knight moves in, offering that trade. Probably bad for white to take it, but this is actually a fork. So, might be good to take it anyway. And there's the trade. Now what? Possibility, maybe knight move here, threaten the queen, but also get this rook on what is a not so open file, but could be in the future. Bishop out to here for some reason. Defending that pawn, I suspect. All of a sudden, Sam caring about material. The big threat is this. I'm not sure how Sam would enable it, given that they have no black square bishop. And going rook ways would take a couple moves. Knight is misaligned for that purpose. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I figured it out. Pawn move up. The goal is to get this bishop to trade with this bishop in any way, shape, or form. and then tee up queen here for an immediate checkmate. Knight moves, threatens the queen, opens up the rook file. You know, good ideas here. I won't say it's a good move. I will say the move was made with good intentions. And for someone who can make so many mistakes like I do, that's really your only consolation prize. That you had a smart idea of why you wanted to make that move, even if you missed mate. And like, you missed them mating you, I mean. Queen has moved laterally out of the way, a good defense. Now it's a question of if queen wants to pivot to this diagonal. Moving this pawn up. Actually, I like that move. Move this pawn up, queen takes, rook moves here. Okay, the file has been opened. This whole exchange is about to go down. Takes. Queen counter take. Queen counter take or knight take. This queen threat is a big threat, but it could be defended easily. I'm not sure. Like going knight here just stops it. White's considering it. This is playing assuming your opponent's an idiot. Like, this is banking on black not seeing this. Like, so many moves stop this from happening. Knight here, this pawn forward, that pawn forward. The trade occurs. But that was a good exchange. White is up 2, but now this is a rook game. The only real wild card is this knight. Pawn up. Now queen takes, it could be a trade. It's just losing. So queen has to escape. Goes there. A bit bottled, but works. So one of the disadvantages of using this diagonal now is the king can now defend itself. Rook forward, defending that pawn, and attempting to make a battery. It's got battery potential. Rook forward, another battery attempt, but also double protecting, but pawn takes. A foolish mistake, I would argue. Another situation where a rook is blocking a pawn from going forward. Doesn't this look familiar? Didn't this, like, just happen a few games ago? And the rook for forward support. This pressure continues. But it is actually winning for black. Black could take this trade, beat down material, and now queen has another attack on there. Wait. A take back has been sent. It does not matter. Time has been called. Black's out of time. White wins. Round 2. Sam versus 0 once again. This time Sam is on black. White is on 0. Swap those words so that sentence made sense. E4. D5. Pawn takes. Queen takes. Yep, this is classic Sam behavior. Knight out. Queen is in no land. And now you go pawn up. All right. Through this. White is taking control of the center. Now, you know, development options here. Nope. Bishop. Bishop opening. How do you respond? That bishop is threatening to take that pawn. Poor undefended pawn. Yeah, go c4. Knight out. Knight out. Okay, board's getting centralized. That's a pin. I don't know if you care that much. Pawn forward, maybe d5. Just get some more presence. The trade. And like the predicted trade too. Okay, pawn forward. All right, pawn forward here. That gives bunch of attackers. Queen B7, stealing a pawn from the sides, threatening to obliterate that rook. How do you defend this? Knight out. Very good. Now it's mutual defense. This queen is now doing nothing out here and will need to pivot to another thing. Could move down here for a kingpin. What was that last move? B5? Cool. So for that pin, removes a bit of the escape options, but the queen does want to sort of pivot to this side of the board. Very good. Very good. Everybody, in fact, there's an argument to just murder. White is up a pawn. That knight is doing some important defense options. Rook, skewer. Bishop takes forced check to escape the skewer. Now, if the queen takes that rook, okay, so knight took. This rook is still safe. In fact, it's double safe now. This queen needs to leave. Could go here for another pin. But that doesn't really help. But yeah, the queen does need to move. Here's kind of out of the way. Yep, moves all the way back, starting to do some menacing on this board. The legendarily dangerous or weak, vulnerable F-file. Though not really a lot of ammunition. Knight move to here, control the centers, good positional move. Bishop out for development, lets you castle whichever way you want. In fact, knight here now also attacks that bishop. I say good move. Yep. Now, a word of warning, you move this bishop out, this rook has full reign to kill that pawn. So I would argue maybe move that pawn up first. If you really want to castle queenside, otherwise just castle kingside. It's fine, I forgive you. I don't know why that would be a transgression. So that bishop does need to move. Oh, actually, you can safely move the bishop out if you want to sacrifice it to the thing. Knight moved out to sort of counterattack. It's saying, hey, either trade or leave. What is White going to choose? Pin. White is going to choose to double up. So now in the case of knight takes, it would be bishop takes, then the queen is under attack, needs to leave. And then, like, wreck the pawn structure. Yeah, knight cannot move. Even if it's moving to do some damage, it cannot move. Pawn forward forces the issue. Bishop takes, queen is in threat. Pawn retaliation, most likely, but you lose your pawn structure. Knight takes, check. Queen takes is disastrous. Best off just moving. But to where? Here, a move here is, yeah, there saves it. Here, pain. Okay, so either move's fine. And actually, the material holds even for now. I mean, it's a 2-pawn difference. And, you know, a classic minor piece asynchronicity. What is black's future potential? Well, this bishop's pretty available. This rook is an open file, ostensibly. This rook can slide out. But there's nothing really dismantling the queen threat right now. This knight is tricky, but not necessarily lethal right now. What's white potential? White's potential is it's controlling the area. Pawn forward. Getting some reinforcements, I suppose. Bishop in. Trying to force out that knight with an even trade. Actually, not even. Bishop takes, queen takes, queen takes. You just lose. Queen. And maybe that was part of what this pawn push was for. Move this pawn up so that this pawn... Or move this pawn up so that this pawn can defend the knight. Knight runs. Okay, next up, what can you do? Bishop here for a cheeky check. Move this pawn up. Nah, that just helps. Well, that just helps white's pawn structure. Don't do that. Rook here. Aggressive. Takes a pawn. Not really sure if it helps anything. Queen takes a pawn. Good potential. Actually, very good potential, actually. Goes for the rook take. Queen take could be a follow-up. This could draw some pressure away from the center, allowing for a more lethal queen move. Knight moves back in. Re-offers the trade. Strange choice. The trade is accepted. And that is a loss. That was a bait to get the bishop out. Just move the bishop back. Oh, no! The damage is taking the rook. Well played. That is going to do it. That is going to give white material advantage once more. King moves. Queen takes. And now the queen's defending there. Bishop takes, threatening. That is a skewer. Skewered into a defensive checkmate. King could move again. Could move this pawn up for no good reason. Rook move in. This is now a pin. Or is it? Bishop here. Check. Allows the queen time to move. Isn't really much the queen can do. I mean, if the king moves here, then you can take that rook and you've made a horrible mistake, but pawn forward, defend bishop. That's just going to be taken by the queen. No, it can't, because the bishop will take it back. Pawn forward. Now bishop takes, check. Got potential. Bishop takes that way, check. Weird. Honestly, really weird. I guess it moves the king out into deadly waters, but... Oh! That diagonal check. Okay, so, it looks like Sam's strategy for right now is to just check repeatedly, which is understandable, because Sam only has 18 seconds left on the clock. Meanwhile, white, who is 0, I believe. Okay, so this is going to be an attempted check storm, but I think now... Yeah, okay, black has resigned. Neat. Round 3, tiebreaker. The tiebreaker is 3 minutes, 2-second increment. Very fast opening. They've both taken the center d-file, knight out. Bishop out. Bishop, or knight out. Bishop, threatening, pain, pawn out. Okay, things are going so fast. Check. Knight defend. Another check, I imagine. Yep. Castles. Pawn out. The question is being asked. Nope. Leave. A nice bit of hesitancy as you go immediately into another trade potential. But I think that one goes better for white. Knight out. Pin the queen. Knight moves, threatens the queen. Queen needs to get out of there to safe harbor, which is not easy to find. Maybe here? Yeah, I'd say there's pretty good. You know, that works too. Suppose defends the bishop from that. So, is it going to be a trade? No. Sam, keeping material. Moves that are not quite so aggressive. Good development on both sides. I'd say Sam's white is a bit faster. But the development continues. Knight to the center. That's going to be offering up that bishop trade for pawn power. But it's also just a very strong central position. Taking that knight, takes that pawn. Okay, the open file here is a concern. Actually, it seems that Black's pawn structure is carrying a lot of weight in this position. And continues to assert by trying to fill in this gap space over here with good pawn moves. This bishop is trying to reposition to find another vector of attack. Rook to the free file. Queen forward for good diagonals. Oh! Battering ram that way. That is the threat. If that move goes through, king goes there, checkmate. But this hesitation suggests to me that Sam sees it and is deciding how to counter. Bishop here would be funny. Pawn forward, extremely reasonable. Thus removes that threat. Bishop now moves to pin the queen. Sort of like a triple line here. Yeah, okay. So I was going to comment on that, but we now have a queen threat here. Yeah, queen's got to move out of the way. The defensive line. Pawn forward. This bishop has been completely snuffed out. Knight here. Take. Bishop's been moved to safety. This board, or at least this game, gives me the vibe of Swiss cheese. Like there's holes everywhere. Like the defense is strong, but there's just islands of nothing in the middle of it all, but you can't reach them. Knight move to the edge, an unconventional choice, but with potential to move there. Knight moves in, threatens the queen. Now that that knight is no longer protecting it, queen's got to move. I mean, you could do that, but that changes nothing. Queen moves out to the side. Where's the knight going? Knight's taking the bishop. This is a question. Which one do you want to kill? Answer, the bishop. Knight can move here. No, cannot. It can move here. No, cannot. Knight may need to retreat or... Okay. Oh, right. Pawn defense. Of course. Queen can move here. Check the king for some reason. Also puts in the position to defend the knight, given that there's more attackers. So I would say that that is not a useless check. Goes for it. Queen defense or king move, most likely a king move, probably towards the center. Careful though. Okay. Queen cannot checkmate. Knight has moved out. They're like poking at each other. They both have like a durable castle, and they're both just trying to like poke for potential. Knight's threatening that rook. Rook needs to move, possibly to the file it would want to go to. Anyway, no, moves down. Potential attack from the knight is to go here, but that will be defended by the other knight. Good location for that. 1 minute left on the clock for both. Pawn move. Probably just to break some holes. Knight moves into here, defended by this pawn. This does open up this move by the knight. Knight trade. Okay. Pawn's got potential, but the queen could just snag that up. Chooses not to. Queen moves in for an eventual diagonal move here for a check that maybe doesn't matter. If king moves here, then it could be just like a weirdly forced queen trade. 20 seconds left for white. White takes the pawn. This is an opportunity. Queen goes, no, queen takes that pawn, ready to take that pawn. 20 seconds left for white. King moves up. Queen takes here, check. Got to move out of the way. Moves up. Good choice. Cannot follow up with another check. Probably should do a pawn move of some kind. 1 minute left for black. Queen moves back to defend. King moves again. Queen could move back here. 4 check potential. Destroy that. King keeps moving. King is trying to get to the defensive line. Battery has been formed. Queen can move here. Queen can no longer move there, but queen can take that. I would lose that pawn, but it's a pawn trade and then followed up by a check here. Possibly. I don't know if that check is actually a goal of any kind. I don't have time to read. 10 seconds left for Sam. Move. 10 seconds left for Sam. Sam may lose on time. Sam is in like a fighting position, down a pawn in the endgame, but has no time. Queen move forward. Good. I mean, I guess that's legally a move. Now, that's not to say that black doesn't have any time. 30 seconds left for black. If white can keep making moves, battery has been formed. Careful. King moves out of the way. Battery will now hit nothing. Pawn forward. Pawn up. Queen up. Pawn forward. Okay. That's a take. That's a take. File has moved. This is deadly. Okay. That's a check. King has to move out. Rook move there. Then there's some defensive options. Queen has moved in. Rook here is a good defense. Did not take it. Queen can do an empty move, but it won't help. Rook here. Rook here. One of those, please. Rook attack also works. No, it does not. Rook's moving in for the kill. That's... Oh, they're back ranking. They're back ranking all those humanity. 3 seconds left for white. Time.
Oh,
Whew. Stupid time controls.
dude, that was so close.
GG's.
Wow.
GG's.
Hello, welcome to the opening. We're a bit late. This is BT versus Killer Rabbit, followed by E6. So it looks like BT taking the center, strong center acquisition. Killer Rabbit has made questionable moves, I would say, but does actually lead it up to controlling the center. Or at least having some center control. Rejected taking that. Okay, where do we move from here? Bishop here would force a trade. Queen there instead. Are you going to queen trade or are you going to double up with the bishop? Taking. That's a bishop take. You could bishop out, go for the bishop trade if you really just want to delete. But I don't know if you want to do that. Your center control is a bit lacking. On basalt potential. It's forced. Does BT know? Does not go for it. That is going to dock you points. Unfortunate. Ooh, knight takes pawn. That is center control vying. Knight in a strong position. But it's a pretty open board. Bishops are typically what you want for that. But knight does have its AoE. Pawn structure is a bit lacking. Might have to sort of be playing the mid game early. I think there's good arguments to be made for shunting that enemy knight out of where it is, as with this bishop move here. And as much as good intentions were had, down a knight. This might actually be okay, though. This knight is now trapped. Bishop out for that check. Bishop defense, potentially. Deep contemplations about whether to block with the bishop or move the knight. Blocking with the bishop. The trade. Not sure if I would have taken that. Knight out. Good development. Opens potential for moves here, here, here. But also lets this rook fly 3. In fact, you can even push the issue by moving knight a3. Knight a3 forces the king to move. If it goes there, it's take by pawn. If it goes there, it's take by that knight. If it doesn't move, take by rook. Now, the danger of moving the knight there is that the bishop will take. Then you take with this pawn, and then this question still exists. But this time, if it moves to c2, you take with king. So ultimately, I think this is quote-unquote good. Bishop c5. Good positional control, but I still think knight move, good option. King up. Stops bishop move there to fork here. And if the bishop does move to, say, here for jukes, then you can do the knight thing without any concern. Pawn move down. Knight moves out this way. Ah, that's what the true purpose of the king move was, to give the knight another exit. So this knight is forfeit. There is no saving it. At least not with defending it. Passive move. It seems black has given up on trying to defend the knight and is content to just let the rook slide. Now here's an idea. Instead of attacking the rook immediately, b4. Huh? Nope, rook takes. Okay, with that, white has taken a knight, black has taken a rook and a pawn for a 3 material point difference. What that has really gained white is time. And a not terrible position. Knights are moving in. The potential danger is this move here. Well, not this move, but knight, bishop, bishop. Like, if knight moves there, that's a check. That could fork something. Potential defensive option is pawn up. That would be knight take, bishop take, bishop take. It's a loss. So pawn up here to prevent the move at all. And this is, you know, a reason why you would do b4 earlier. White's thinking about it. This knight moves in, offers a trade. That would actually be a complete trade of all the minor pieces. Takes pawn down. So, white has a choice. Take or break. Well, break that. White could force the issue by instead offering to have the knight be the trading piece. So like knight goes there, attacks the bishop either has to run. Okay, the trade has been taken. Pawn up, defending a pawn down move for breaking. And while white has done a good job fighting back, it seems that you know, the material advantage for black is pretty strong. And the board, the pawn structure for black, also very strong. This knight is gonna have a hard time getting out. There's bad, there's bad. There, you can go there, which is bad. Here is okay, you can go from there, but really the knight is being blocked out of the one okay, now you can't go there anymore. Pawn takes. Pawn up. Yeah, the okay, now you go pawn, now you get knight here. For that power. It ain't much, but it's something. Goes for it. This knight is going to sort of be a wild card. If it can be used for good positional advantage, then it could save the game. Like if you can imagine a world where this knight magically teleports to this square, all of a sudden, white's golden. Black also still a minute less on time. 40 seconds, 42 seconds now. To white's 1 minute 30. The pawn trade happens. Could go for a rook trade. Try and win on time. Rejects it. Puts the king into a nice defensive corner. Again with knight potential here. 38 seconds left for white. Pawn moves forward. Knight takes. Pawn move forward again or rook down to do a little fork. No, rook moves to the side. Try and dislodge that rook with a move. Could go for a check here. Just try and shuffle the king away from the pawn so you can move the knight in. That's a possibility. Pawn up, pawn down. You can no longer move the rook there. There's now pawn race. Sacks the rook. Check. Rook here. No. Sacks the rook. Well, I don't like the possibilities for white right now. That's a check. Only possibility is there. Rook there. Take the rook. Take the rook. That was a blunder. And suddenly white's back in this. Pawn race. White can give control. Knight there protects that pawn. That pawn's protected. That pawn's protected. They're all protected. Black is in a tenuous situation. Idle checks will do nothing. Could argue for a king move. Forces the rook to leave. And that gives opportunity for a pawn move. King's just going to play it safe. What the king wants to do is hide back here for cover. Not so much saying that's a good move, but it's what psychologically BT wants to do. Goes there. Pawn race. Go. King's going to move there. But that pawn is defended by the knight, so it's actually okay. There's a potential desire for... Okay. Knight's being forced to move. Actually, maybe not. King there. Oh, yeah. He sees it. Rook defense. You could move the pawn in, have that sack trade go, but then you lose that pawn race. That pawn is protected. Here, 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 you've lost. So instead, knight, take... Oh, they're trying to clear up that pawn. Okay. Black sees it. Doesn't know what to do. King up. Wrong. Queen. Black has resigned. That is a win for BT. All right, welcome to rematch game 2 of Killer Rabbit versus BT. BT now on black, Kill Rabbit on white. BT won the last one in phenomenal fashion. Looks like we're doing some pawn structure shenanigans. Knight, good, 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 good. Looks like we've got forcing the issue. Going for that trade. Pawn structure destroyed, but file open. Double pawn. We've got the pyramid. Fear its power. Pawn takes. Pawn takes back. Would be lost to the knight. That is unfortunately a material loss. No, but the pawn takes. Go for the queen trade to keep material even. Rabbit's scared. Rabbit doesn't want to lose the queen. Rabbit and BT go so fast into the endgame. In, you know, N of 2, but still. No. Goes for an alternate check. Pawn up for defense. Yep. Knight takes. And okay, this is what you do. Knight here. Good. Queen check. You want to... Okay, actually, this is a little awkward. I think king here is the best choice. Yes. But then you go there, and then it's a queen take, knight take thing. Okay, so... You know, it's a stressful situation, but not actually bad. It just scares you. Minutes 30 left on the clock for white. Oh man, that is a tough call. Tough call. Look, queen takes. Material gain. Tries to double up. Knight move out would just ruin the queen. Threaten the queen, forcing a move, but a move there, well, that's not going to help you. This is such a wild defense and attack and defense. Now, black needs to press in order to regain advantage. That rook loss has swung 3 points in favor of white, but with how tight this position is, I don't think white can convert this into a win. They may need to cut their losses. No, doubles down. Wild. Okay, so yep, king move out to defend. Queen moves here for another check, but that's just a king take, so don't do that. Queen up here, though, is a knight take. Knight take. Queen down here is either a knight or a bishop or a queen take. So yeah, Rabbit is trying so hard to turn this into a win, but I don't think it's enough. Queen escapes. Will black chase? Probably not. Pawn forward, pressure on the bishop. Probably just shunt it back here, maybe shunt it back this way if they really want to keep the diagonal. You know Rabbit's trying to look for an attack of some kind. Oh, revealed, discovered check. All right. Not. Oh, actually, this is a. Tough one. Knight could go there. That just queens forwards. King there. Just invokes checkmate. Actually, I think this is a loss. What in the world? Huh. Wacky stuff. Killer Rabbit, I am getting a lot of vibes of like an Armored Core 6 quad shotgun build. Just unrelenting aggression. Open field, zoom. If I ever fight Killer Rabbit, I need to remember this. Keep the position closed. But yeah, I think BT's out of options. Oh, okay, that's probably a good move. I do think that Queen G4 is still checkmate, but this move is not one I thought of in that analysis. Queen goes here, king can't go there, 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 and king can't retake. And there's nothing that can take on that square. Killer Rabbit appears to be hesitant. Doesn't think it works. That take could save things. Takes the bishop, allows for escape down the diagonal. Excellent. Yeah, you're too late, buddy. That diagonal is open. My goodness. My goodness. Killer Rabbit's going to be getting a scolding from the mob after this fight. Can't do that because the knight. Can't do that because the king. Bishop's only on dark squares. Your attack is floundered. Goes for the castle, gets the rook involved. Queen trade offered. Rabbit won't like it, but may need to take it. The material is evened out. 3 seconds left on time. Queen goes to the sideboard. Queen forward takes that pawn, is now in the files. Rook just sort of steps in. Queen could take that pawn, but it doesn't really matter. Queen could try going here for like a move down, takes that pawn instead. 4 seconds left for white. Queen goes here for a check, maybe. Yep. 1 second. Time. And that's Killer Rabbit BT with a win for BT.
Yeah, I know. For the
You
I
had
said
Nathan
I
won.
did not mean to move that pawn there.
Okay, this is me fighting Alistair Novum. I'm going to start with E4. Let's just go some regular old knight f3. Knight c6. Everything looking good so far. A bishop here. Like, you know, your standard, everyday, conventional moves. Oh, going for a funky, are you? Well, how about I just do a little queen up. I'm definitely going to be talking a lot less. Take that, I can take with the queen. You've pawned up, I can pawn up too. Go out here, threaten the queen, but they'll just pawn them up, which will structurally increase this position. And how about I let you do that? Okay, all right. You don't want to play that game? All right. Let's see. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. I lose that. What about this? One, 2, 1. I've made a mistake and I would like to unmove it, please. Okay. Fair enough. You know, I picked up the piece and I moved it somewhere else. That's reasonable. So I've lost a little bit of tempo in their repositioning there. Let's go this. Time's even. You are moving the queen up to protect that. If I move the knight there, you do need to take with that pawn, which puts you in a little bit of choppy waters, I would say. Yeah, I'll take that trade. You want to destroy your pawn structure? You want to lose your queen? Pick your pick. Next choice is yours. Declined, huh? Cool, cool. So what are you threatening? Taking that, taking that, taking the bishop? I don't care if you take the bishop. Actually, I know your plan. Your plan is, I take that, you go there, but it doesn't actually work because I can just queen take, so, I. And then we got a rook bishop exchange. Let's open these files, yeah? Yeah, your bishop can't retreat, which means it might actually be good for me to go after. So let's go after this knight. You go there, I take it. You go there, I take it. You go there, I take it. Yeah, that may not have been the best move, because if they take with this pawn, I'm gonna have a hard time, because I can't use the knight because it's pinned by the queen. But the true nature of the move is that I can kill this knight easy. So take with bishop. If they take back, I'm going to take their bishop again. So they got to go there, die there, and be safe for another turn. Still up in the material, doing good trades. Board's opening up. Well, that does stall me. But I'm actually totally fine. Well, actually, no, I'm not. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, no, 3. But the moment I try and take with the knight, they'll take my queen instantly. So I don't want to do that. Instead, Castle Kingside. 40 seconds remaining. On my side, they got 2 minutes, so I'm losing on time, unfortunately. You gotta move that knight. Where are you gonna go? Okay, so their pain, their pain, their pain. Well, there's a retreat, but I want you out of here. Go there, destroy it with queen. Go there, destroy it with rook. You're back there. Should have done this. Can't take. I will move here. And I'm doing this does annoying things to my pawn structure, but now I'll take that knight, get it off the board. Taking there, taking there. Your choice. Taking that, okay. Get out of my house. Yeah, I'll make that trade. Cool. Trade me. Whatever. I misclicked. It's fine. Weird, but okay. Oh. You gonna hit me with the D4? Come on. Don't do that to me. What is this? Get Londoned. You think you can out-London me? I just Londoned you. That's not how this works. No double Londoning. I'm not playing this game this time. Get out of here. Yeah, that's right. You better run. Center control is scuffed. I don't have enough attackers to get there. My pawn is about to become useless unless I do something about pawn me bishop. Go there. No. I want that trade. Not good center control, but I want the bishop out. Could move the queen up to help defend in a way that doesn't just murder it to the bishop. Get castling. There's a lot of development stuff. You have moved your entire... You just love, absolutely adore the concept of putting your bishop there and having it be scary. I don't care. Get counter scary. You hate it. You love doing it so much. I'll do it to you. Yeah. I'm gonna move to trade. Take that. Ruin your pawn structure. I dare you. Good. Excellent. Well done. Queen up. This will allow me to forward future do a move of knight e5. A trade which I will also gladly accept. I do like me my endgames. Queen? But now I don't win that move. How dare you? How dare you? I'm putting a pawn here. Get your bishop away. Do I aggress further? Removing the pawn on f4 will allow my queen to move out, but I don't really need to. So I won't. Instead, You know what? I'll do some aggressive move. I don't like doing aggression. I just like whittling down my opponents in ways until I win, but I'll do that. I have the luxury that based on what you do, I decide which direction I want a castle. Though queenside's looking pretty tempting. You're gonna stop me? You're gonna try and maneuver your stuff so I don't take your pawn on c3? Fine by me. Oh, what if I do h5? Then I can move the knight to g4. Okay, so you do castle. You are afraid of me. Queen can't take it because it's defended by the rook and the knight. Bishop could take the knight, but I'll just take that pawn, and then queen still can't move. It even protects against a potential future castle. You've moved your rook out for some reason. Trying to destroy my structure, are you? What do I care? I've got my own attack. I mean, it doesn't do anything, but like, makes my knight in a good spot. That rook is threatening to destroy that pawn, which is undefended. I think now is the time where I kingside castle. Queenside, sorry. If you're following along at home. If they're gonna try and like shuttle my queen out of my position by going to like rook b3, I can just go to like somewhere else. I'm fine with that. Redirected your queen, gonna try and do a diagonal. You are revving up for an attack. I see that, I understand that. I want that bishop dead. Take that trade, I dare you. If you don't take that trade, I'm going again g5. I'm going to open up the g file. My rook is going to be barreling down on your king. It's got no defense. You refuse to approach me. Yes, you are trying to dislodge me from here. That is okay. I forgive you. In fact, I'll even leave a fair distance and go here. Look, enough. Now I've got the diagonal. Here's my attack vector. First, though, pawn up. Yeah, you're making your battery. I don't actually care. Like, what are you gonna do with it? Check me? Take you with my knight. This is not a threat. You have two rooks and they're not a threat. Ooh, yeah, you're real scary. So do I threaten with the rook or the bishop? That pawn move definitely protects against the queen moving. but I've got a rook. Now they understand. But what, do they understand the cinnamon-packed taste of cinnamon crunch? Get forked! You're gonna lose on time at this rate. Yeah, okay. You want to convert your rook into the queen so that you can do your murder. Fine. That doesn't help you. I'm going in. You don't have time. And I mean that in number of moves. You don't have the tempo to do this attack. Get skewered. T minus. Okay, you stopped the skewer. Very good of you. Double up on the attack or actually going for the assault? I will double up on the attack. Checked again. Do not move to the A file. You will lose your queen. Very good. Very good. Back here. Okay, move back. I will simply take your rook now that I've got a free move. Okay, that's a nice little bishop there. It'd be a shame if someone were to make a reasonable rook move up here. Other potentials I'm seeing are knight d4. Just get my knight into the action. If you move your queen here, you are making an unnecessary assault of absolutely no consequence whatsoever. Slap here. You take my rook, I take your queen. Hit that diagonal, you don't have your bishop defending you anymore. Okay. That's technically a king check. I want to move it to a different position so I can scare it better. Your choice. Ooh, move at the last second. Well done. Queen here. Take it. You fool! You could have taken my rook, but you didn't. Bye. See ya. Pull.
Dude, I swear. I swear to
You can
God, there were
roast me.